BBOR, Black Box Online Radio, May 17th, 2017. Who are the Democrats going to put up for president in 2020? I've been kind of critical in the past, saying that the president's job is more of an actor's role as opposed to an actual leadership position now, but never mind, it's entertainment all the same. Who are the Democrats going to put up in 2020? Where is their serious contender to Donald Trump? We've had a lot of the major Democrats say that they are not going to be running in the next election. Elizabeth Warren has said she is not running. Al Franken has said that she is not running. And of course, Hillary Clinton, most likely, is not going to run. That is for the best, of course. Nobody wants another look at Hillary Clinton for anything, for any reason. She should be forgotten, if anything. It is a real shame for the Democrats that Al Franken is not running because he is one of the most vocal candidates that they have. However, of course, coming from the background of a comedian, he does not have the biggest political resume. The same can be said for Elizabeth Warren. I think she made a very good decision to say that she is not going to be entering the presidential race. She's already come out and said that she is not interested, and that's for the best because most likely Elizabeth Warren could win the Democratic nomination. She has a lot of star power, she has a very big following, she almost has the political celebrity status, and that would most likely catapult her up to the top above some of the other contenders. And that's bad. The Democrats just did that with Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton won the nomination for two reasons. One, cheating. Number two, her celebrity status propelled her to the top. People were voting for her who didn't know anything about her other than she was the former First Lady and she was a woman. And that's why she was getting votes. So, a lot of things like that would happen with Elizabeth Warren. She's very popular, and she has a very large following with the Democratic base, but she would be not a strong candidate. In all honesty, I do not think that she could win a general election against Donald Trump. I just do not believe that she could galvanize the support. She could not pull the middle ground and the middle of the road voters over onto her side. But that's the whole question at this point. Who do the Democrats have? Is it still possible that Bernie Sanders is going to run again? He's a potential candidate, but is he going to be able to win? The answer is most likely not. He is just far too extreme, and most of his plans are just things that could not be implemented. Again, he most likely would not win a general election. Keep in mind, though, Bernie Sanders is 75 years old. In 2020, he will most likely be in his 80s. I mean, he will be in his 80s, most likely. He'll be in his 80s. And he will be very, very old. I take it back. I think he'll be 78. I'm not good at math. Moving on to the next candidate, we have Lincoln Chafee, the former governor of Rhode Island, former senator of Rhode Island, former mayor of Warwick, Rhode Island. Tremendous resume on paper. Under the pressure of the national stage, however, absolutely useless. He offered really almost nothing in his debate, and really, when you look back into his history, he comes from a very affluent family, and he tries to present himself as the person who cares much more about local politics than national politics, and it falls flat. He has. You're bored already hearing about him. If I were Lincoln Chafee or Martin O'Malley, I would run again if I were them, only for the reason that they probably are both feeling that they didn't get a fair shake in the last election. They really felt they did not get enough media attention, and they didn't. They were really kind of just tossed aside because people thought they were too boring. Maybe they're going to try and repackage their images and come back and run for office again, run for the presidency again. But again, Martin O'Malley or Lincoln Chafee will not win. Who do the Democrats have? Who do the Democrats have that could be a serious contender to Donald Trump and actually win the presidency? There is some talk that Caroline Kennedy, the former ambassador to Japan and the former first daughter of the United States, is interested in running for the presidency. She has not announced her candidacy yet, but if anything, that would probably be one of the stronger contenders. She has the Kennedy name, which will draw attention. She could be the first woman president of the United States, and she also does not carry a lot of negative baggage. Elizabeth Warren is very well liked by her base, but by a lot of her opponents, she is despised. With popularity comes both good and bad. There's the dark and the light, and I do not really see that quite yet with Caroline Kennedy. It's very possible that she could become a serious contender for the nomination. There would be a lot of it's worth investing in. It's worth in looking in more to her and keep an eye on Caroline Kennedy if she chooses to run. The What the Democrats do not need to do is to choose someone who has a very faint political resume, such as being a one term senator, or even being a two-term senator in the case of Elizabeth Warren. That's really just not going to be enough. That's going to be hammered by the critics. The guys like Lincoln Chafee and Martin O'Malley, who have the political resumes, who have both been mayors, who have both been governors, who have been involved in an administration for years, really might offer a lot of possible solutions, but they just don't have the charisma, they don't have the likability, and they don't have the sort of showboating skills that it takes nowadays to become the president. So, what really would need to happen is the Democrats need somebody who has a lot of flair, a lot of charm, but also someone who actually has solutions. It would be so nice to hear the strong solutions that are put forth in the early rounds of the debates carried up into the general election. Bernie Sanders has a lot of good things to say. Martin O'Malley has a lot of good things to say. However, where is the candidate that can actually push this over the edge? As of now, I do not believe that I have seen that from the Democratic Party. And keep in mind, I'm coming at this from the perspective of someone who is not a Democrat. I am just a complete outsider to them. As I said, this is purely entertainment, but who are they going to put up that actually has a chance at winning the general election? And that is the question. What Democrat do you believe could win an election against Donald Trump in 2020?